Joshua chapter 18 verses 11 to 28. Benjamin was the first tribe chosen to receive land. The region for its clans lay between the Judah tribe on the south and the Joseph tribes on the north. Benjamin's northern border started at the Jordan River and went up the ridge north of Jericho, then on west into the hill country as far as the Bethaven desert. From there it went to Luz, which is now called Bethel. The border ran along the ridge south of Luz, then went to Adarothorech and on as far as the mountain south of Lower Beth Horon. At that point it turned south and became the western border. It went as far south as Kiriath Baal, a town in Judah now called Kiriath Jearim. Benjamin's southern border started at the edge of Kiriath Jearim and went east to the ruins and on to Nephtoah Spring. From there it went to the bottom of the hill at the northern end of Rephaim Valley. The other side of this hill faces Hinnom Valley, which is on the land that slopes south from Jerusalem. The border went down through Hinnom Valley until it reached En-Rogel. At En-Rogel the border curved north and went to En-Shemesh and on east to Jeliloth, which is across the valley from Adummim Pass. Then it went down to the monument of Bohan, who belonged to the Reuben tribe. The border ran along the hillside north of Beth Araba, then down into the Jordan River Valley. Inside the valley it went south as far as the northern hillside of Beth Hoglah. The last section of the border went from there to the northern end of the Dead Sea, at the mouth of the Jordan River. The Jordan River itself was Benjamin's eastern border. These were the borders of Benjamin's tribal land, where the clans of Benjamin lived. One region of Benjamin's tribal land had 12 towns with their surrounding villages. Those towns were Jericho, Beth Hoglah, Emek-Keziz, Beth Araba, Zemaraim, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Chephramoni, Ophni, and Geba. In the other region there were the following 14 towns with their surrounding villages: Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpeh, Kephra, Moza, Rechem, Irpeel, Tarala, Zelah, Haleph, Gibeah, Kiriath Jearim, and Jerusalem, which is also called Jebusite town. These regions are the tribal lands of Benjamin. Joshua chapter 19. Simeon was the second tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for its clans was inside Judah's borders. In one region of Simeon's tribal land there were the following 13 towns with their surrounding villages: Beersheba, Shema, Melada, Hazar-Shul, Bala, Ezem, Eltalad, Bethul, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar-Susa, Beth Lebaoth, and Sharuhan. In another region, Simeon had the following 4 towns with their surrounding villages: En-Rimmon, Takon, Ether, and Ashan. Simeon's land also included all the other towns and villages as far south as Baalath-Beer, which is also called Ramah of the south. Simeon's tribal land was actually inside Judah's territory. Judah had received too much land for the number of people in its tribe, so part of Judah's land was given to Simeon. Zebulun was the third tribe chosen to receive land. The southern border for its clan started in the west at the edge of the gorge near Jokneam. It went east to the edge of the land that belongs to the town of Dabbesheth, and continued on to Maralah and Sarid. It took in the land that belongs to Chisloth-Tabor, then ended at Daberath. The eastern border went up to Japhia and continued north to Gath-Hepher, Ethkazin, and Ramona, where it curved toward Ne and became the northern border. Then it curved south around Hanathon and went as far west as Iftahel Valley. Zebulun had 12 towns with their surrounding villages. Some of these were Kadith, Nahalal, Shimron, Jerala, and Bethlehem. This is the tribal land, and these are the towns and villages of the Zebulun clans. Issachar was the 4th tribe chosen to receive land. The northern border for its clans went from Mount Tabor east to the Jordan River. Their land included the following 16 towns with their surrounding villages: Jezreel, Cheziloth, Shunem, Hapharaim, Cheyenne, Anaharath, Debirath, Kishon, Ebez, Remeth, En-Ganim, and Haddah, Beth-Pazzez, Tabor, Shahazumah, and Beth-Shemesh. Asher was the 5th tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for its clans included the following towns: Helkath, Hali, Beten, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal. Asher's southern border ran from the Mediterranean Sea southeast along the Shear-Libnath River at the foot of Mount Carmel, then east to Beth Dagon. On the southeast, Asher shared a border with Zebulun along the Iftahel Valley. On the eastern side their border ran north to Beth Emek, went east of Kabul, and then on to Neiel, Abdon, Rehob, Hammon, Cana, and as far north as the city of Sidon. Then it turned west to become the northern border and went to Ramah and the fortress city of Tyre. Near Tyre it turned toward Hosah and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Asher had a total of 22 towns with their surrounding villages, including Mahalab, Akzib, Akko, Aphek, and Rehob. Naphtali was the sixth tribe chosen to receive land. The southern border for its clan started in the west, where the tribal lands of Asher and Zebulun meet near Hukkok. From that point it ran east and southeast along the border with Zebulun as far as Aznoth Tabor. From there the border went east to Heleph, Adami-Nekeb, Jabneel, then to the town called Oak in Zananim, and Lacham. The southern border ended at the Jordan River, at the edge of the town named Jehudah. Naphtali shared a border with Asher on the west. The Naphtali clans received this region as their tribal land, and it included 19 towns with their surrounding villages. The following towns had walls around them: Ziddim, Zur, Hammath, Rakkath, Chinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazer, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hazer, Iron, Migdalel, Horam, Bethanath, and Beth-Shemesh. Dan was the seventh tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for its clans included the following towns: Zorah, Eshtaol, Ar-Shemesh, Shalabin, Aijalon, Ithla, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Balath, Jehud, Azor, Beneberak, Gathrimmon, Mejarkan, and Rakan. Dan's tribal land went almost as far as Joppa. Its clans received this land and these towns with their surrounding villages. Later, when enemies forced them to leave their tribal land, they went to the town of Leshem. They attacked the town, captured it, and killed the people who lived there. Then they settled there themselves and renamed the town Dan after their ancestor. The Israelites were still gathered in Shiloh in front of the sacred tent, when Eleazar the priest, Joshua, and the family leaders of Israel finished giving out the land to the tribes. The Lord had told the people to give Joshua whatever town he wanted. So Joshua chose Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people gave it to him. Joshua went to Timnath-Serah, rebuilt it, and lived there. Joshua chapter 8 verses 30 to 35. One day, Joshua led the people of Israel to Mount Ebal, where he told some of his men, "Build an altar for offering sacrifices to the Lord. And use stones that have never been cut with iron tools, because that is what Moses taught in the book of the law." Joshua offered sacrifices to please thee and to ask his blessing. Then, with the Israelites still watching, he copied parts of Moses onto stones. Moses had said that everyone in Israel was to go to the valley between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, where they were to be blessed. So everyone went there, including the foreigners, the leaders, officials, and judges. Half of the people stood on one side of the valley, and half on the other side, with the priests from the Levi tribe standing in the middle with the sacred chest. Then in a loud voice, Joshua read the blessings and curses from Moses. Psalm 105. Praise the Lord and pray in his name. Tell everyone what he has done. Sing praises to the Lord. Tell about his miracles. Celebrate and worship his holy name with all your heart. Trust the Lord and his mighty power. Remember his miracles and all his wonders and his fair decisions. You belong to the family of Abraham, his servant. You are his chosen ones, the descendants of Jacob. The Lord is our God, bringing justice everywhere on earth. He will never forget his agreement or his promises, not in thousands of years. God made an eternal promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when he said, "I'll give you the land of Canaan." At the time there were only a few of us, and we were homeless. We wandered from nation to nation, from one country to another. God did not let anyone mistreat our people. Instead, he protected us by punishing rulers and telling them, "Don't touch my chosen leaders or harm my prophets." God kept crops from growing until food was scarce everywhere in the land. But he had already sent Joseph, sold as a slave into Egypt, with chains of iron around his legs and neck. Joseph remained a slave until his own words had come true, and the Lord had finished testing him. Then the king of Egypt set Joseph free and put him in charge of everything he owned. Joseph was in command of the officials, and he taught the leaders how to use wisdom. Jacob and his family came and settled in Egypt as foreigners. They were the Lord's people, so he let them grow stronger than their enemies. They served the Lord, and he made the Egyptians plan hateful things against them. God sent his servant Moses. He also chose and sent Aaron to his people in Egypt, and they worked miracles and wonders there. Moses and Aaron obeyed God, and he sent darkness to cover Egypt. God turned their rivers into streams of blood, and the fish all died. Frogs were everywhere, even in the royal palace. When God gave the command, flies and gnats swarmed all around. In place of rain, God sent hailstones and flashes of lightning. He destroyed their grapevines and their fig trees, and he made splinters of all the other trees. God gave the command, and more grasshoppers came than could be counted. They ate every green plant and all the crops that grew in the land of Egypt. Then God took the life of every firstborn son. When God led Israel from Egypt, they took silver and gold, and no one was left behind. The Egyptians were afraid and gladly let them go. God hid them under a cloud and guided them by fire during the night. When they asked for food, he sent more birds than they could eat. God even split open a rock, and streams of water gushed into the desert. God never forgot his sacred promise to his servant Abraham. When the Lord rescued his chosen people from Egypt, they celebrated with songs. The Lord gave them the land and everything else the nations had worked for. He did this so that his people would obey all his laws. Shout praises to the Lord.